With the federal government shuttered, U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy made a surprise visit to BWI Airport outside of Baltimore on Tuesday to meet with air traffic controllers. Moments after his meeting, Secretary Duffy had a one-on-one exclusive interview with our team. Mr. Secretary, look, today marks 2 weeks of the government shutdown. Yeah. We're 2 weeks into this thing. Is air traffic control safe?
So yes, and what you see is delays throughout the air traffic control system, maybe even some cancellations. So what we do is, if we don't have enough controllers, or if we have weather, we will slow traffic down, and you'll have a delay, you might have a cancellation. But the number one priority for us at DOT and FAA is to make sure people are safe. Not necessarily to make sure you get there on time, or to make sure your flight isn't canceled, but that you get from point A to point B safely.
Today also marks the first time when air traffic controllers are starting to see their checks not being delivered, hitting their bank accounts. Right. You just spoke to them a few minutes ago in the tower above here. How was your reception?
So they got a partial payment today. And that's because of the shutdown. The other part didn't come. But the next paycheck, if the government shutdown continues, they're not going to receive any money. And these are oftentimes the head of households financially, and they're responsible for mortgages, car payments, putting food on the table. So there's an extra layer of stress. What's pretty cool here at BWI is this is a fully staffed tower. There's not that many of them international airspace. And because of that, they're in a pretty good mood. But there is a frustration that they have, that they do their job, they make sure planes stay in the air and are safe. They're like, hey, Congress, do your job. Why don't you fight for me, an air traffic controller, a government employee? Why are you fighting for someone else who maybe came across the border unlawfully? And why are you fighting for their health insurance? Or why are you fighting for foreign aid? What's the purpose of that?
A frustration we heard from passengers at BWI.
Unfortunately, I'm here for work. If I didn't have to, I would probably be home in silent protest. It's really frustrating to me that so many people are having to work and give of their time and their energy and labor.
Government shutdown, I think we don't need as much government, so if we have to kill a third of it, let's do it. But air traffic controllers definitely need to get paid so that we can get to where we're going safe.
A week ago, Maryland Democratic leaders held their latest press conference to address the shutdown.
Team Maryland stood united the morning after the shutdown in Annapolis, and today, Team Maryland has come together again here at BWI.
We asked Secretary Duffy why he instead opted to quietly visit the airport as a senior federal official. Maryland Governor Wes Moore was here in this terminal, and he held a large press conference with Democrats in the state of Maryland, the Maryland delegation. It was a huge press conference, a lot of national media. You're doing just this interview with me and no press conference. Why the difference?
Well, listen, I wanted to have a one-on-one conversation. I think that's a better forum, and I want to do it with you. The problem, though, is Wes Moore comes here and he says two things. One, I support air traffic controllers. I support our government employees. And the next breath, he supports the government shutdown. And so you can't have it both ways, Governor. You either got to support the employees, which means you got to open up the government, tell your Democrat colleagues in Washington to open it up and negotiate, have the conversation. Tell your Democrat colleagues to stop fighting for illegals in their health care or giving foreign aid to countries for, transgender this and, all the crazy stuff that they have, that they funded. And so I think he's being disingenuous, the governor is, because if he cared about government employees, he would actually support opening the government back up. And he hasn't. And so he's slick. It's impressive that he can try to have it both ways, but in the end, the shutdown hurts the government employees, many of them that live in his state.
Later this week, we will bring you more of our exclusive interview with Secretary Duffy. I'm Gary Collins at BWI Airport with Spotlight on Maryland.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.